So since we're done with prepared speeches, we're going to escalate on to the next level, impromptu speaking. Going to get Kirk up here, give us some good table topics, and hopefully get everyone to get out of their comfort zone. So come on up, Kirk.
Love being in my comfort zone. Alright, so for anyone who is new or needs a refresher, table topics is the portion of the meeting where I will present a topic, a prompt, or a question of some sort. And I will then choose someone, and they will have 1 to 2 minutes to come up and speak on that question or prompt. So without further ado, let's get started. The first prompt is for you to tell us about a time when you said or did something that you thought was really funny and no one else present thought so. There we go. Volunteers. Awesome.
About 30 minutes ago in the Toastmasters group message, I proposed we poison the pineapple pizza because I think it's a disgrace to humanity and all pizza overall. And no one liked the message saying that we should poison the pizza for everyone who likes pineapple. Frankly, one, that's hilarious. You should all be laughing, gut-wrenchingly laughing. Honestly. Second, it's really not even that much of a joke. I truly believe we should poison. Maybe poison goes a little too far. At least laxatives. We should at least have put laxatives on the pineapple pizza. It's like low-key a harmless April Fool's joke, but also puts people who like pineapple pizza in their place. Because frankly, it's just gross. I understand people like, oh my gosh, it's like sweet and salty. It's like, okay, eat something else. Don't put it on pizza. There are many things that are sweet and salty. You can get chocolate-covered pretzels, but you don't have to have like wet fruit on a pizza. Like the entire concept is just gross. I've honestly never tried it just because ever since I've heard of it, I was like, that's disgusting. Who would want that? And still, every time, people get it. But every time it's brought up, I'm still like, it must be a joke. No one actually likes this. So I propose that the 3 people who voted for pineapple pizza raise their hands. Who did it? Who voted? That's more than 3. Some of y'all liars. First off. Blatant disrespect right there. Blatant disrespect. As VP of PR, I'm actually... Okay. Oh, is my time up?
Oh, you're in yellow.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. So in the spirit of April Fools and general tomfoolery, you remember that awesome prank you pulled on your mom and or dad?
Okay. I believe Kirk chose me because I had a puzzled expression on my face. I was like recollecting, like, this never happened before. But if I were to pull a prank, as a lot of kids do, I would act like I almost died by a car or something hitting me, and then I would have like fake blood, and then just wait to see their expression. I know some kids on YouTube have done this, and their parents go like ballistic. They're like, "Oh no, my child is dying," and they try to save them because they think they're actually dying, and then the kid just wakes up and and then they freak out because they're like, "What the heck happened?" But that would be my first choice. Second choice, if I do, I'll make my sibling look like they were about to die, and I'll bear with me. I'll try to make it look like I'm saving them, and I fail in saving them, and then my parents are like watching this from the sideline, and there's nothing they can do. So they're like very, very sad, and then they're like, "Oh, April Fools." That's very limited in choices. But I mean, I wouldn't do something so cruel to my parents. That's why I couldn't relate to Kirk when he was like, "What have you done to your parents?" It's because just doing that, it's like you're playing with their emotions because they care about you so much, and you're just going to decide to make their day worse when they work every day hard for you. They put their time, their efforts, their money, So I mean, that is why I have not done it. But if I were, I'll make it something like majestic and like memorable. That's it.
I don't know what I said that implied it had to be a really dramatic, death-related prank. But that's absolutely what I was going for. In the spirit of tomfoolery, the essence of tomfoolery is just being a little quirky in public. So, what is the strangest outfit that you've worn in public, not counting Halloween or some other dressing up related occasion?
Oh.
Now, I don't remember how the day started, but I had a bad day and I was kind of frustrated. And I was going out to Fuzzy's with some friends. And we were about to go, and I was just in a bad mood. I went to my roommate, I need something to get me in a good mood. He goes, you want a drink? I said, sure. A few shots in, I'm like, oh, now I'm feeling kind of hot, and I'm going to go outside. It's going to be too hot, and I'm going to go there, it's too cold. And so I decided to settle on a medium. I had some shorts. I borrowed my friend's socks. He had SpongeBob, purple one, or it was pink and then yellow. And then I wore slides. So that was all very casual. And then up top, I had kind of like a polo, not a button down, it was like 2 buttons. And then I wore a blazer. And then I put on sunglasses, and I couldn't find a hat to match it, so I went without a hat. So that was the most wackiest outfit I wore. And this wasn't like April Fool's, Halloween, or anything. It was just out of the blue. Went to Fuzzy's, had a good meal in that, had a good laugh. Thank you.
I think we've all made some decisions that we may have thought better of at the time, but decided to make them anyways. But I would like you to tell me about a time that you made a foolish decision that turned out to have been great, and it was exactly the right decision to make at that time. Zach.
So, wrestling is hard. I don't think I need to actually tell you guys that. I think you already know. Wrestling involves weighing in and weighing out, making sure you are in this certain weight class. And wrestling tournaments usually happen on 2 days. So it's usually a Friday, and then you weigh in, and usually you have to be in the weight class. And then in the morning on Saturdays, you have to weigh in again, and you have to still be in that weight class. So I was a scrawny 113-pounder in high school. I do not weigh 113 anymore, obviously. So I weighed in the beginning of that tournament, in the beginning of Friday, at 113. I weighed out at 113. And then one of my friends that isn't in wrestling decided to say, hey, I'm having a birthday party at 9:30, and we're going out to CC's. $8. And I can share as much pizza as I want. And they're just making pizzas after pizzas after pizzas. And they aren't as filling as these. I finished 6 pizzas on my own. That's a bad idea if you're weighing in the next day and you need to be 112. 112, 113. I thought I was screwed when I came up to my coach with literally a jutting belly, just a pizza. And I looked down at myself and I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna have to run. This is my night. Literally from 4 a.m. till the beginning of the tournament, I'm gonna have to run the entire time. And then I stepped on the scale, and I was 112.9. And it was a good decision. So, bad decision, good decision, I don't really care. I had 6 pizzas in the middle of wrestling season, and that's a good decision to me. Thank you.
That was excellent. And if people are done with pizza, let me know, and I'll try and reenact that today. All right. So if you were a fool and had any sort of responsibilities, or didn't have to worry about making up any work that you put off afterwards, and you had an entire week with no work and no responsibilities to do, how would you spend it? 3. If you had no responsibilities for 1 week and didn't have to worry about catch up after, what would you spend it doing?
Okay, so basically, it sounds like summer, which we don't have enough of. And it also sounds like spring break, and it sounds like winter break. So obviously I would not be in school, and if I could do anything without having to catch up, ooh, I would do a lot of things where I wouldn't have to catch up on sleep. So catching up on sleep causes a lot of anxiety for people. People have to spend a third of their day. If you sleep 8 hours a day, that's a third of your 24 hours in a day. And there'd be a lot of things you could do in 24 hours instead of 16 hours a day. So, for example, I could run up and down the East Coast. I could take some friends on a vacation to the West Coast. Actually, this is what I would do. I would travel the entire world because I would not have jet lag, because I wouldn't have to catch up on sleep. That's what I would do. So you could travel, I would travel forwards in the world, I would travel backwards around the world. I could just spend this entire week doing things that I wouldn't normally do, because not only do I have 24 hours in any single country that I want, going to any country that I want, going to any place, but I also don't have to worry about jet lag. Thank you.
Great job. I wouldn't have thought about eliminating sleep from the equation, so excellent take on that question. Who is your favorite fool? And I don't know your name, but in the bandana. What is your name? Kiana. So you got 1 to 2 minutes?
Who's my favorite fool?
Yeah.
Well, I think that I'm going to have to say myself. I think that I have done some foolish things, but I think that, like you said, a lot of the things that I've done that have been foolish have turned out to be a good thing. I think that coming here today has been a good thing. In my mind, I'm thinking it's foolish because I'm not great at public speaking, but I think it's a good thing that I came just to test out the waters. So I think that I would say I'm my favorite fool. Some of the other foolish things that I've done in my life have fooling my parents. I've had a lot of fun tricking my parents. Sorry guys, I'm really not afraid of this. Yeah, can I just?
How have you fooled your parents? Have you ever like photoshopped a report card? Because I have.
No, I mean like in high school. In high school, I was always somewhere where I wasn't supposed to be, and I've gotten called a few times. It was never anything like major, but you know, just out at late nights with friends and stuff like that. So I've done some foolish things and gotten in some big trouble for it.
What's the worst to get in trouble?
I gotta go.
Thanks for coming up on your first day. Sorry to call in.
No, it's okay.
You did well. What is something that you've put a lot of time and or effort and or money into that was important to you, but everyone else saw as frivolous or foolish? Tyler. You want me to time for you?
Yeah.
Frivolous and foolish. All right, you have to go way back, way back for this to be relevant. So from first grade, actually no, from preschool till the 4th grade, I was in this program that a lot of Asians were in. It's called Kumon.
Oh my God.
Now for those in the room that aren't Asian, this is where you have to go every single other day to learn about math, learn about language arts, and any other thing that they have that they couldn't really teach. But you had to just do practice problems every single day. Even when you're on vacation, it's like, you gotta do your homework, son. It's like, we're on vacation. It's like, I know I paid for this. It's like, all right. But up until the 4th grade, I was going ham in math. I was up there with the other people. And then all of a sudden, we got to the math where my parents couldn't teach me any of it as well. Then you start putting numbers and letters next to each other, and then they're like, I don't know what's happening. And then we'd go to Kumon and be like, I don't know what's happening either. So then we stopped going to Kumon. All that effort to keep me in this top class of other people learning math, it just went down the drain. Once I started hitting 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, I started failing tests, and then I went from honors to on level, and then barely passing on level. So if there's anything that really was frivolous and not really worth it in the long run, it would probably be math. In Kumon specifically. Thank you.
That was just called school when I was in As you were explaining, I was like, this is a simple one, but maybe it could go really deep if you've got something. Are you wiser than you were 2 years ago? Why or why not? Ishan. Okay. Did I say your name right?
No.
So the question was, am I wiser than 2 years ago? So 2 years ago, I will be a senior in high school. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was a bit tough. I don't know. So I guess one of the most common problem I have is after you finish a grade, you look back and you're just like, what did I learn that year? And so even now, as a sophomore, I look back, and what did I learn? I forget. So do I think I was wiser? No. But I am something more than 2 years ago, which is I do not know the answer yet. However, I think the funny thing about humans is that we tend to change, and the only time we realize that we change is when something important happens, like graduation, or when we turn like very old, either 70 or 80. That's when we look back and was like, wow. But right now, as a sophomore, I really don't know if I'm wiser. I will say I am more responsible in that respect, but financially, I am worse than 2 years ago, looking at my bank account. I mean, smart and wiser can be like defined in many ways, you know? Sometimes people can be book smart, but have the worst common sense. Me, for example, you know, asking girls on a date is like one of the most difficult things for me. As a college student, you think it would be easy, but so I got a phone and went up to a girl and asked that I don't know. I was like, hey, would you like to do a survey for me? And what I did was show her my, you know, the app where you show the contact information you put in? And she was like, no. So where did that idea come from? I got it from my friend. So, you know, being a college student, you think, man, where's the shot? But it didn't. And I was just like, you look back and it's just like, wow, that's a sad moment. So am I wiser? No. But I will say, I learned a lot. No, I can't say that. I was going to say, I'm a bit smarter in that dating, asking girl aspect, but it hasn't worked out so well, so I changed, I evolved, that's all I will say. Not for the better, not for worse, but I evolved. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that. Very broad speech and a lot of topics in that. Have you ever given a genuine effort but felt foolish after? Slate. Given a genuine effort but felt foolish after.
All right.
So my name's Slay Nations, and I think I could argue I've done that with everything, really. I think in the moment, it always feels like you gave a genuine effort, and you like you immediately just feel foolish because you're like, stop doubting yourself. You're like, how did I do? Like it's even just like last Thursday, I took an accounting exam. Like, of course I put a genuine effort, but like, did I really? You know, it kind of feels foolish. Like I just put 2 hours in, craning, you know, in the MLC, your neck. It's so it feels pretty foolish, you know. It's like it's all this really worth it, but so really I think just anything you do in the moment is always that you think is a genuine effort. Will always come back as feeling foolish, but then hopefully that goes away later on. And so
confident going into things. That's the most important thing. Or at least it's up there on the list. All right, this is the last question I've got. Are we all right on time?
Yeah.
Great. What's the most fun you've had doing something foolish? Forget Trish.
The most fun I've had doing something foolish.
Yes.
She's looking happy. This should be easy.
So my first year Odyssey, I took it this semester, and it was a topic on telenovelas. And the reason why I chose that topic in the first place was, one, the topic's interesting. Two, it was a legitimate excuse to watch shows that I've just been waiting to watch. But then the unexpected problem came up that my professor introduced us to really great shows, and like, now I have this whole list, like, okay, there's this show, that show, and the list just keeps getting longer and longer. So I think the most fun I've had, like, during spring breaks, I'm off from school, so I don't have to really think too much, is now I'm on YouTube or Netflix, and now I'm just watching show after show. Now, it's really great in the moment, but then when you realize afterwards, and you ask, oh, how was your spring break? Oh, yeah, I went on this trip, this service project. It was really fun and productive. Oh, yeah, I was studying for exams coming up. And then in my mind, I was like, oh, I had lots of fun. You know, it's just sitting on the couch, just like catching up on shows. So it was a lot of fun, a little tomfoolery because I did have exams coming up. But, you know, you just got to do it. Thank you.
All right, take a minute and vote for. Well, if it comes up. Ah,
Oh my
Good
gosh.
autofocus setting.
that was a nice gavel there for effect.
Z-O-C-K.
Well,
Hey.
Good answer.
Y-I-J-I.
well, Trish does this last one.
You did.
What?
J-I-A.
He's got F-R, that's perfect.
No, it's not.
Number 9, J-I-A-H.
J-I-A-S?
Not E.
You also do that.
This is what I get for projecting my
Yes.
spelling. Is it J?
Oh, Y-I-J-I.
Now I'm all messed up. A-N. All right. Vote for your choices, and then pass them to the center of your eye.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Yeah, let's give it a second.
There's no more pineapple pizza. I was going to deliver a slice to my house.
Someone threw it out halfway with
Someone
this.
threw it out.
No, people actually finished it.
But it smelled fine.
I'm telling lies.
Quit this hoodwinking.
Not yet.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's that. No, I mean, by that tomorrow. See you, sir.
Oh. Nice.
Well, pass it back over to our, not topic master, that's me, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing the floor. I gotta catch up to Zach.
6 pizzas, right? Might be a long shot.
Yeah.